Flight controllers, listen up. Give me a go, no go for launch. Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Bio.
We're go flight.
Guidance.
Guidance go.
Surgeon.
Go flight.
Ecom.
We're go flight.
GNC.
We're go.
Telmute.
Go.
Control.
Go flight.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Oh, you didn't think we can do it again? Twister, Kanye West.
Let the party rock.
Girl, I see you in the map bottom jeans. Chinchilla on your back, I wanna know your name. Girl, I'm just I can blow your brains. Put you in the chameleon no-go range. Still sexy when you smoke that flame. Trigger like a chicken while you throw that thing. She got me hotter than the oven the way that she talk. Switching the freaky, so I'm loving the way that she walk. You looking good, girl, you wanna be a picture. Listen to me, I see your career going sky high. Taking you home to the crib in the shot, and every time I see your thighs, I cry when I drive by. Watching you should be a thrill. Got the feathers on some Johnny Gill, steady screaming, my. Walking the rubber with the thunder, the lick in the dog. Kicking it on the top of 106 to park. Make it.
I might like you better, baby. Let's get together, baby. Wanna hold you, get to know you, show you what I got in my sweater, baby. Call the red hair, the bitch in charge. And if we settle up, I make it see size, get large, get hard, go far. Wanna touch you, watch you fucking see my money in my pocket. Please don't stop the music.
Boom, shake, now drop what your daddy said.
Sexy and I know it.
If you want shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of weed mixed with some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating, when I'm rocking the table while he's operating. I know it. Oh my God. Beast mode. Oh my God. Beast mode. I'm sexy.
sexy and I know it.
This looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
When I walk on by, girls be looking like Daddy Fly. I'm here to the beat, walking down the street in my new freak, yeah. This is how I roll, animal print pants out the draw. Red Bull with the big ass bra, and like Bruce Lee, but I got the clout, yeah.
Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body.
I work out.
Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body.
I work out when I walk in the spot, yeah. This is what I see. Everybody stops and staring at me. I got passion in my pants, and I ain't afraid to show it. Show it, show it, show it.
I'm sexy and I know
Shake,
it.
pop your body, shake, shake, pop your body. What?
I'm sexy and I know it.
Stop, turn that up, take it higher. Tear this mother up, start a riot. Don't stop, turn that up, take it higher. Tear this mother up, start a
I'm sexy
riot.
and I know
There's a
it.
glitch inside my system, rushing through my whole existence. Got me twisted, can't resist it. Something's flipping on my switches. Take 'em, break 'em, make 'em feel it. Mix it up and mass appeal it. Pressure is riding me hard. Killer dose right from
Sexy
my
and I
heart.
know it.
And there's no antidote. Oh my God. And there's no
I'm sexy and I know it.
And there's no antidote. Oh my God. And there's no antidote.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I'm sexy and I know
Looks
it.
like a job for me, so everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. Oh my God.
Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body.
I work out.
Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body.
I work out when I walk in the spot, yeah. This is what I see. Everybody stops and is staring at me. I got passion in my pants, and I ain't afraid to show it. Show it, show it, show it.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Like a G6.
Jumping all over the world, looking for you. I'm known for taking what I think I deserve, and you're overdue. And if you listen, you can hear me through the radio, in that bright white noise. What I've been missing in my life, what I've been dreaming of. You'll be that girl, you'll be that girl, you'll be
Everything you want, so let me get up there. I'm the baddest baby in the atmosphere. Tell me what you want, so we can do just what you like.
You make me feel bad. You make me feel strong. You make me feel bad. You make me feel strong. You make me feel bad. Get a little closer to me, girl, and you understand.
Wayne's World, Planet Rock, Paris Drive, and the time. And she gon' rock to the camera stop. I sing about angels like Angel Eye, and Pay My Life, and Samadai, and Amadai, and Tamara, and Najee Moi. I'm in here like, bitch, what's up? Me can it me? I can fix you up, I can dick you up, I can dick you down. Shout it, we could go wherever, just pick a town. And the jury is louder than an engine sound. Big ass rocks like on the ground, dirty like socks that's on the ground. We see her sweet
Hey, what's up guys? Zombie Grub here, bringing you another clan war for the Underrated Team League. I am joined tonight with Octane Pro. What's up, man?
Hey, it's going well. What's up with you?
Oh, nothing much. We have a pretty good team tonight for you guys. Western Wolves is playing. It's the one with Zictomini. I'm sure you've heard of him if you follow StarCraft 2 scene. Hopefully get to see him tonight. But we're also having Meta Gaming. Don't know quite as much about them, but hopefully they can put up some really good games. We have some, a lot of fun tonight. And,
yeah, really looking forward to it. Sorry, I was distracted by your lovely animation.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah,
but,
it makes me giggle every time.
Yeah, Western Wolves, definitely a notable team, as you had explained there. Looking forward to seeing them, along with Better Gating. We're going to see how they put up against such a notable team. But outside of that, everything's looking good. I want to go ahead and mention a few of our sponsors real quick. Please make sure that you guys do go ahead and support them as they support us. Make sure you check out SC2 Gears, Next Level Gaming, and also Origin. Origin being a PC manufacturer that has some amazing gaming rigs out there. Next Level Gaming going ahead and have some guides and tutorials on your StarCraft 2 needs. And then finally SC2 Gears, which has some great tools in order to allow you to analyze and diagnose your game. So make sure you guys do go ahead and check them out.
Yep, some great stuff going on there. Now I do want to quickly just go over the rules, give you an idea what's going on. So it is a team league. Now it's 24 teams, 4 groups of 6. And there's top 2 in each group move to playoffs. And the points are pretty important because 4 points go for an all kill, 2 points just for winning, and 0 points of course for losing. So getting an all kill actually really beneficial. So you might see a lot of the team's best guy out first so they can try and get that all kill right off the bat.
Yeah, all kills are really cool. Haven't seen any of those just yet myself, but hopefully looking forward to seeing something in the near future for that.
Yeah. Well, with that all done and away with, we should be getting into this game. Are you ready? Are you loaded up?
I'm loaded up, ready to go, so go ahead and give me the countdown.
All right. So we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, guys, we are on Ohana. We do have, I'm not actually sure what that first 4 letters are, but he will be known as Starnan, coming out for Western Wolves as the purple Protoss in the top left, and his opponent in the bottom right is going to be Nex as the orange Terran.
Yeah, and Ohana, a little unique type of map here. Reason being is because, yeah, with that natural fall so nicely there next to you, but it has the destructible rocks, which makes it a little bit more unique, a little bit easier to defend in early game, especially for Terran versus Protoss with a simple bunker at the top. Furthermore, the big thing to note is the third. The third is the hardest thing to defend on this map, just because of the fact of the large entrance to the third, and an enemy can decide to either go to the third or push the natural at the same time. So 2 things to keep out an eye on for this matchup. But what are your thoughts here for the TVP right now?
I think you did like a great summary right there. I made sure to go ahead and show everyone on stream what you were talking about, but PvT is one of my favorite matchups, so if I get really giddy, especially if it goes into the later parts of the game, don't mind me. It's just really exciting when they get to that whole Ghost Vikings versus Colossus and Templar stage in the game, and we should just be seeing, typically on this map, you do see half of them are 1-1-1s from the Terran player. The other half are some nice mid-late game. We'll have to see what Nex decides to go for. Now he is getting a Rax, but there goes down the gas, actually, so could be seeing some one base play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to... This most likely will not be like a Reaper fast expand because this gas most likely will be used just to get some early tech, some quick factory tech possibly. And on the opposite side of the map, we actually see Nexus, though. Nothing too extravagant. He isn't going with a Nexus first or anything. Nothing like a Forge fast expand. But we do just see a one gate with a gas. So this leads us to believe possibly he's going to push out for a warp gate early in this game. But we'll have to see how this progresses.
Yeah, he actually has only 2 guys on gas right there. I'm not sure if that's a mistake or if that's just actually on purpose. That is something that's been coming into style recently, is just playing around with how many guys you put on gas. But this early in the stage and not having 2, I'm going to actually guess that's a mistake. I don't know. I've actually never really watched Starnan before.
Yeah, I mean, as StarCraft 2 has slowly progressed and the metagame has matured, players are slowly starting to have the ability to tweak their builds to the point to knowing when the exact gas is needed at the exact timing. So this could be something unique, as Zombies did say. But something to point out is we do actually have a scout for Nexus sitting at the bottom southern region of Starnan's base. And this is a very wise decision because he didn't waste it. It's not going to get killed by that zealot. But what it's going to do is sit there and allow him to scout this a little bit farther on, maybe at the 6-minute mark or even 5-minute mark, to allow him to know what exactly to expect.
Exactly, and actually, Starnan very, very cautiously had a probe going out there as well as the additional actual scouting probe to go ahead and check for any proxy factories or starports, because you do see that a lot on this map, also besides the 1-1-1, but we do actually seem to be having a factory go down with an additional gas. He could just be going up to starport. Now, our Protoss player did scout it. He saw that there was, there was just Marines at the front, no command center down here, so he knows that something iffy is on the way. It just, depends on what we're actually going to see from him.
Yeah, and on the opposite side of the map, Nex's SCV did get killed. He actually tried to scout with it, and he did scout with it pretty successfully. He scouted the Cybernetics Core, along with Warp Gate technology underway, along with the Chrono going down on the gateway, pushing out some units. He did also scout only 1 gas versus 2, and that is all he actually got to see before he actually died. So he didn't get an opportunity to see the Nexus. So right now, this just looks like a 1-base 4-gate, actually, for Starnan from Nexus's eyes.
Yeah. Well, he's coming in with a Hellion, and he actually just got the probe for the scout. The Hellion will probably see this Nexus before darting off. He's not going to break the 2 Stalkers out front, or he shouldn't anyways. And Nex is actually probably going to go... Oh, actually, he's getting a Raven first. That's really interesting. So this possibly could be 1-on-1, depends on what we see on that factory. We should see his tech lab or something soon. And this Hellion's just getting as much scouting information as possible.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised to see a Raven coming out first, and reason being is because if we went off the original assumption that he scouted kind of a 4-gate, that would definitely push towards early pressure. And a Raven, a move like this is definitely something I think would move more towards, pushing for mid to late game, which is kind of surprising versus a Protoss player. But regardless, I'm not the one playing the game, but we will see how he uses this Raven to kind of harass his opponent's economy, or is he just going to use it for detection? We'll have to see how that works out for him.
Ooh, that's interesting. Alright, so we have a second starport down, actually. Yeah, that's a little interesting. Picking up the factory, not sure where he's going with that. I suppose he was going to put on an ad or something on, but I really don't know what he's going to do with that second factory. I guess produce like 1 medevac at a time out of it? I don't know.
It's always fun seeing some unique builds come out of players, especially at this level. So see, we learn something new every day. But regardless, on the other side, Starnan from Western Wolves, we are seeing that he does have an observer coming out, so he's going to get a little bit more information, which is pretty much going to allow him to decide which route he wants to go in this game for his tech tree. On the other side, though, things to keep in track of, just starting out now, we'll see how it progresses, is Starnan is currently sitting on 31 Harvesters versus 26, but Nex is on 1 base. So this is going to start to affect Nex very dramatically here within the next 5 minutes if he doesn't decide to actually expand and to stay on 1 base.
Oh wow, I have never actually seen this. Back even when double starport was popular, like a Raven first, I didn't see that. But this is going to be double Starport Banshee coming out with some Hellions for support and a lot of Marines without any upgrades whatsoever. And I have to imagine that Starnan back home is like, what the hell is he doing? Like, is the 111 coming? What's going on? Is the Observer actually out yet? Like, where is it? It's out. It's back at base. He really needs to go, like, see exactly what is going on.
Well, there was an Observer that actually just got sniped just north, actually, of Nexus base. But the cool thing was that he had a handful of Marines patrolling, and same thing with the Raven. So as soon as the Observer actually came into contact with the base, it was completely taken out. And I actually checked the vision, and Starnan never even saw the starport. So he still does not know anything, but from the Raven, he can expect at least to have some type of starport tech.
Yeah, and we do have the SCV pool, and he's just moving out right now. Of course, the 2 Stalkers at the Zanaga did see it. And they're trying to get pot shots whenever they can, which is really nice. No cloak for the Banshees, that there are point defense drones. That's really going to play a key part. Where are the sentries for the Force Field? He wants to buy as much time as possible, rather, but he's just pushing right up. The Immortal has popped out. This should help a little bit against the SCVs and the Hellions. Oh, I don't know how this is going to go. The point defense drone is pretty strong.
Yeah, we actually see no upgrades for either of these guys right now. We actually don't even see Combat Shield for Nex. He put all that money into pushing into a farther tech tree when it came to Banshees and that Raven there, and it looks like that this Nexus might have a possibility of going down, but we're really going to have to find out.
Wow, it's so close to dying, and he's now targeting, actually, Starnan thinking this is the time to go, trying to target the Banshees with the Stalkers. The point defense drone almost, I think it's out of range, actually, so the Banshees are going down, though, slowly, and a good surround off on the Marines should clean them up, I think. Oh, it's so hard. Oh, this is really close.
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't see any SCVs doing repairs, especially for those Banshees. But it looks like the Marine numbers are going to dwindle down, which is going to leave these Banshees and the Raven helpless here.
Yeah, and he's down to like a very measly little group right there. All of his economy is gone. You know, a few more warp-ins, and he should be good. Now, his economy's gone also with all those probe kills, but he still has one more base, you know, his main, so he should be actually fine. I think he's deflected this attack.
Yeah, right now we're sitting at 23 Harvesters versus 18 in Starnan's favor. He did actually rescue his Nexus from going down, regardless of the fact that it currently is right around 256 health. But the big thing here is that now Nex is trying to recover, and he's in kind of emergency mode now, trying to keep his Harvesters up, you know, back up to where they were, but also try to build an army, which is very difficult.
Yeah, I don't know really where you go from this point. Now, the Nexus did survive, as you pointed out, which is really, really key here. The production's going to be double. The Chrono Boost is going to be double. A Banshee goes out in the middle. That's actually really unfortunate for Nex. But the Protoss is definitely, I think, in the better position here. Starnan, Nex is going in with 2 more Banshees into Starnan's base, but they do actually, nice micro until it died. And, yeah, the Banshees are deflected once again at Starnan's base.
Yeah, and quite difficult now for Nex. He's pretty much going to play very defensively right now, and hope that he can hang in there to kind of get up possibly a second command center in time before his opponent actually goes ahead and builds a Protoss ball.
Oh wow, but Starnan is just pushing with like a handful of units really, but Nex barely has anything. Really, he's relying on a lot of Banshees to deal out the damage, but Banshees actually die fairly quickly to Stalkers, and the Immortal for the bunker is going to do tons of damage. He's going to lose SCVs in the process, so Starnan's just getting farther and farther ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately, the amount of SCVs that are pulled right now, it's a loss of mining time. And so, sadly, you know, he's already behind in economy. This is going to put him even farther behind, and he's having a very difficult time. I mean, he's sitting on 22 to 31. But you may think, oh, not a huge difference there. But in reality, that's 1,000 minerals versus 360 minerals a minute. So that's a big difference. And I do not know if Nex can actually pull this out and survive.
I don't know either, man. He really needs to start doing harassment with the Banshees, but he needs them back at home to actually deflect this, and I don't know if he can. Supply Depot's just going down, being picked off one by one. Getting a Stargate, actually. Yeah,
the Stargate might just be to kind of, you know, throw something in there for vision, possibly, to get vision on the ramp. It might also be coming out for Phoenixes to attack the Banshees.
Yeah.
I don't expect Void Rays at this point just because of the cost, but definitely Phoenixes just to harass those Banshees and kind of break up this Terran army.
Yeah, and since Nex is really just relying on Banshees to make his army, that's actually a pretty good choice, because once Banshees actually get up to a really good number, they actually deal like a ton of damage. Oh, the Observer actually it dies. But yeah, Banshees actually do tons amount of damage if you get him, if you let him get up too high. So just going for that anti-air, probably a good choice for Starnan. Now Nex is pushing out again, which is a really weird decision. Now Starnan can actually get some surface area, pick off what he wants, though he is being pushed back to his base.
Yeah, no upgrades for either of these guys yet. They all expected to kind of push this and end this super early. There are no forges out on the field. There are no engineering bays whatsoever. Not even an academy out at all. And looks like we're going to have quite a battle going on in the midfield right now.
An academy?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You said an academy.
Yes, for Nex. If he was going to try to do any type of upgrades or anything.
Are you back in Brood War? Like, or am I
so
missing
anyways,
something?
we do have a battle going on at the natural right now, and looks like that's a GG.
Yeah, it actually was over really, really quickly. He pretty much didn't, with Defender's Advantage, Warp-ins, the Phoenixes were out doing tons of damage. He really didn't have much of a chance, so he just GG'd because he's still in one base.
So interesting first game. Both players actually, well, more in Nexus's favor though. Nex definitely was looking to end this super early and kind of went all in. I do apologize. I did say Academy earlier. I meant Armory. But anyways,
I was wondering. I was like, how you going with that?
But yeah, it was kind of interesting though because Nex pretty much went all in and it failed, and so the entire rest of that game he was trying to recover. Unfortunately, there wasn't really much he could do after it was scouted, and that was the big thing. Once it was scouted and Starnan was able to go ahead and make the adjustments to his build, he was so far ahead. Any of your thoughts on the end of that game right there?
Oh, the end of the game, I think, just played out like, a 1-1 would really play out. Once the Protoss is defended, it's generally kind of a downhill slope for the Terran after that, and oh god, I'm about to have World War II right here. The dogs attacking the cats.
Oh, nice. Always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in the meantime, guys, we wanted to mention, we actually didn't get to mention before, make sure you guys do go ahead and vote. You can actually go ahead and vote. In the title, you can see it of the stream, which it actually, you can go ahead and check it out on xanderfever.tv/vote. And we'd love to see you guys voting for any of these players. Let us know. We'll keep an eye on it throughout the game, but it's always fun to see, people change their minds depending on when they see different tech approach or an expansion go down. So make sure you guys do go ahead and vote over at xanderfever.tv/vote.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Way. Made a peace treaty. But actually, I just wanted to mention the build was really interesting. On Ahana, you actually see 2 1-1s, like 2 barracks and then 1-1, obviously, but I've never seen a 1-1-2. I guess I've heard of it, but I haven't actually seen it in action, so that was really interesting. But now we're going to get into game number 2 in this clan war.
Excellent, sounds good. We're actually going to have Starnan versus Archon, and do you have the game up right now?
I do.
Excellent.
So I'll be going into the... Alright, no, it's not working. Come on, Starboard. There it goes. Alright, I'm going to do the countdown. You ready?
Yep.
Alright, so 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, guys, we're back in game number 2 in this clan war. Western Wolves versus Meta Gaming coming out now. Or actually, the current King of the Hill, sorry. The green Protoss for Western Wolves is going to be Starnan. His opponent right now is going to be another Protoss player, Archon. The blue Protoss this time. This is Antigua Shipyard, and it's going to be a PvP.
A lot of Protoss players actually veto this map when it comes down to picks for their games. I don't know why. I mean, I love it just because every once in a while when I do play Protoss, I love actually using Blink and observers on this map because of the availability of the cliffside.
Yeah.
But regardless, I'm not a pro, so they know better than I do. But yeah, I'll be interested to see if we see any one bases here, any 4-gate kind of attacks coming out of Starnan, just because of the fact that he does have one up on his opponent, or if we're going to see him kind of take his time slowly on 2 base and then push the game once he knows he has the right mark.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Some players love to mix it up, or they just stay on their strengths, which might be macro. We'll have to see. Now, I do like your point about the Blink Stalkers. As a Terran player myself, Blink all-ins happens a lot in this map against me. In PvP, I have to imagine they also like Blink just for the reasons that you stated. This nice little ledge right here, observer up there. Oh, it's so annoying to deal with that. And Blink Stalkers, it's still a popular build. You can still do tons of damage.
Yeah, it's a very basic build. I mean, it's kind of one of those cookie-cutter builds that can be taught to any new Protoss players. But the thing is, it's very effective. And if you hide some of your buildings properly and deny scouting properly, you can pull it off no problem. So we'll have to see if we see Starnan or even Archon actually move forward with that. But as of right now, both players pretty identical right now with a gateway and one gas taken.
Yeah, exact. Identical builds. Starnan's gas just a little bit later, but now this is MLG Antigua, I believe, or no, it's MLG, right? So we do have non-gold minerals in the middle. And additionally, they do know where each other are, so that's why they scouted the correct position first. And we do have them just scouting each other out right now. Unfortunately, in Protoss versus Protoss, the scout doesn't really die for a while until that Stalker comes out, because you can just, run around a Zealot all day long. Tried to cover up a curse word, didn't really work. But we do have both guys going for that second gas at almost the exact same time.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to keep in mind is, these are probes, so that their shields do go ahead and regenerate. You and I, both as Terran players, know that our SCVs don't regenerate. We do have to repair them. Same thing with drones. They get their health back. So scouts are definitely important in PvP, and this is going to allow Archon to go ahead and scout a double gas here with the Cybernetic Explorer, and vice versa at the top right for Starman.
Yeah, well, we do have an additional gateway at least coming down for Starnan, so some little mix-up going down, and Archon goes for the one gate in the Twilight Council, which is probably going to mean Dark Templars.
Yeah, I wonder if he is going to hide his Dark Shrine, properly. If he's going to hide it possibly in kind of the smoked area right there, because he has a probe kind of sitting idle in there. Or what? It's going to come down to, when the next scout from Starnan occurs is pretty much going to determine this game.
Yeah. And we do have a lot of scouting going down for both players, both very on top of and watching their probes and their stalkers just going every which way into the natural, into their third, making sure no proxy pylons are down. And this Archon's probe is just still sitting there, so I have to imagine that's where he plans to put it. Did throw down one more additional gateway. You usually see 3 gateway Dark Templar, but it is just going to be Blink, so I miscalled that.
I think it's a little safer, though, to go with Blink. I mean, DT is a huge commitment, not only with gas, but also pretty much you commit the entire game. You set the entire pace of the game there. So I'm actually kind of happy to see Blink. It's a little bit safer, a little bit stronger for Archon. It's always nice when get DTs off and your opponent can't do a thing and they don't scout it and so game's over. But Blink will be very effective. But on the opposite side, we see Blink coming up as well for Starnan. So identical builds from start to finish.
Yeah, we had a little skirmish in the middle between 2 and 2 stalkers, and Archon getting the worser part of that deal, actually. Starting with some good micro, really took advantage of that situation, took out 2 stalkers for none, which is pretty nice in a PvP. And yeah, same builds for both players, just got there just a little differently. And we do actually have a proxy pylon from Starnan, so he's going to put on a lot of pressure with this build. Is it 4 gateways? Oh, he's going up to 4 gateways, so this is going to get really dangerous for Archon soon.
Yeah, and that'll be really, really nice, because the timing of that should actually finish up around the same time as the Stargates finish, so we will have that available. I like the placement of the pylon. That'll allow him to kind of warp in right there on the high ground and be very effective pressure versus Archon.
Yeah, and he's doing it right now. I kind of don't agree with it, though. He's kind of offbeat with his timings in warp ins anyways. He's trying to micro out his heart, though, and he's just constantly getting the worse end of the deal just by a little bit. But now with the 4 gateways, he's going to warp in 4 gateways at once and seriously do some damage if he can get that high ground vision once again, which he is currently not. Oh, but Blink finished.
Yep, so Blink is done. This will allow him to be a little bit more micro-intensive. And they did give him the high ground there for that pylon. And now it pretty much comes into, can Archon go ahead and hold this off?
Well, he's doing it pretty well right now. He's actually pushed back most of the stalkers of Starnan. Really actually taking back the lead after the initial skirmish in the middle. 2 proxy pylons are going to go down for Starnan, which that's 200 minerals, so that does kind of suck when you're a little bit all-inning. And he's actually just warping back at home at this point.
Yeah, so the proxy pressure didn't exactly work. It's all going to come down to, can he put together a decent-sized army and counter this and push forward? Because I would assume that we're going to see Archon go ahead and press to the middle of the map here shortly.
Yeah, and he is pushing forward, but Starnan does have his reinforcements coming up, so soon the Stalker count will go in favor of Starnan, and Archon realizes it, says, I have to get the heck out of here, blinks away, but Starnan has his own blink, and now it's back onto Archon's turf. Can he actually defend? Oh, but we do have 2 Stalkers warped in at the third of Starnan, so he's going to have to deal with harassment at home.
Yeah, we do actually have a robotics bay currently getting worked in for Archon. This will allow him, most likely he's going to go with an observer there, in order for that blink into his opponent's base, but I don't know if he's going to get to that point. Yep, it looks like an observer is coming out of there.
Alright, well, on the side of Starnan, he did actually repel the 2 Stalkers that warped in, but back on Archon's side of the map, he actually seems to be losing the Blink Warders just a little bit. It's really hard to tell right now. It's 11 Stalkers. Never mind, it's not that hard to tell now. That's 11 to 4. That's a pretty big difference, but where are Stalkers? They're still catching up a little bit, so Archon has just a little more time to get prepared.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Starnan has kept the pressure on his opponent this entire match. Which has got to be pretty frustrating. Now, granted, Archon does have 2 proxy pylons down there, but regardless, Starnan has definitely had control of this game the entire time.
Yeah, and he's defended on both fronts. There are 2 proxy pylons down for Archon, but obviously he's not going to be doing that anytime soon. And, back at home, once again, 11 Stalkers to 5. That pretty much tells the tale. Not even pulling probes quite yet. That would probably be the next step in his plan.
Yeah, and I mean, these Stalkers are going to go ahead and clean everything up and attack the buildings now, working their way at the pylons, and I would imagine a GG anytime now.
Yeah, I mean, he even pulled some probes. Those probes died, and he still has more Stalkers, so there's a GG from Archon.
Well, that was an excellent game, actually, by Starnan, representing Western Wolves there. Right now, they're up 2-0 versus Metagaming, and yeah, that was... I didn't expect that. I really did not expect to see such a quick game out of Starnan. 2 quick games, actually. So I wonder if he's going to go for another early game or if we're actually going to see some late game Protoss.
We'll have to see. He's going to be up against Panda, it seems.
Yep, Panda for our next game. So let's go ahead and bring that up. Get everything in order. And actually, I believe Panda is a Zerg player, so that'll be kind of exciting. We started out with a TVP, and we went to a PvP, and now we're going to go ahead and move to a PvZ.
Yeah, seeing all 3 races. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
Excellent. Well, in the meantime, guys, once again, thank you very much to our sponsors, ST2 Gears, Next Level Gaming, and Origin. Please go out there and support them. They sponsor us, so please go ahead and support them. We would definitely appreciate it. If you guys have any questions about our sponsors, anything we can help you with, please go ahead and put it in chat, and we definitely can get you answers very quickly.
All right, are you all loaded up?
I am loaded up, ready to go.
All right. Okay, starting the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey guys, welcome back. We're in game number 3 in this clan war, Western Wolves versus Metagaming, coming out now for Metagaming. We do have Panda as the pink Zerg, and he's facing the current King of the Hill in this best of 7 King of the Hill format, Starnan for Western Wolves. Now, Starnan has just taken 2 games off of the other team, so really need to, try and pull things together and come back, and it might start with the Zerg player. Yeah,
now this is a unique map here. Something to keep in mind is the destructible rocks. It is a very tight squeeze through there. As a Terran player myself, I love kind of isolating my opponent. But in a ZBP, this gives Starnan the ability to actually go ahead and kind of go with like a Forge fast expand to start if he'd like to on this map. Because he knows his opponent is going to be getting hatched very early, most likely at the 15 or the 17 mark. So. We most likely can expect the Forge Fast Expand out of Starnan to take advantage of the map layout and also the fact that he's facing a Zerg. But I'd be interested to see kind of where this goes in the next few minutes.
Yeah, definitely, and he is going to go ahead and Forge Fast Expand. It's actually a fairly easy map to Forge Fast Expand on, very easy to place your building positions. Now, we do have to wait and see if he decides to go for a Nexus first or a Forge first. It really depends on how safe he feels. Now, talking about the Zerg player going for that early hatchery, he probably will. Not many Zerg players nowadays are really into the whole one base against Protoss. It's a little dangerous, actually. And oh, the probe almost got killed right there. That actually would have been a huge win for Panda if it died without doing any blocking of the hatcheries. We will have to see if our Zerg player decides to go up to 3 hatcheries really fast or just stay on 2 base for a little while.
Yeah, and actually that probe actually went ahead. High-level play, actually, by Starnan. when he was trapped behind there, he targeted minerals at the natural of Panda, which allowed him to go right through those drones. So that worked very well, and it was just so quick, like such high-level play that both these players have. And it looks like that Starnan is going to opt to go ahead and do the Forge Fast Expand, but he's going to take his Nexus first because he has scouted. He's seen, okay, my opponent is going with the hatch. He didn't have a spawning pool at the time. He does right now, but he didn't at the time when he took that Nexus, so he's very safe at this point.
Yeah, he is, and he feels so safe, actually. He's getting a Nexus, Gateway, and additional Pylon before Forge, so that is pretty ballsy if you weren't scouting really well. Panda smiling right there because he didn't get the pylon block off, at least not on this hatchery. It could be the next one, though, so that was actually a hatch before pool, I believe, so a little lucky for Panda.
Yeah, and I really hope that we do actually see a Forge here, because we've been talking about a Forge Fast Expand, and as of right now, we only have the Gateway. For Starnan, I would assume a Forge to be safe, but we'll have to see.
What is that gas? What are you doing, Starnan?
I know. He's messing with us.
Yeah, apparently. Well, he's actually messing with Panda a little bit, too, because he either saw the Overlord, or as a Protoss player in a PvZ, you can almost assuredly always know that Overlord's going to be there. So he's like, hey, I got this really, really early gas. What do you think of that, Panda?
Yeah, and we actually see a Cybernetics core going down to complete the wall there. So no Forge actually right now. Pretty much this is just a Nexus first into one gate Cybernetics core.
I've actually seen this before. This is really interesting. You put the Forge up on top and you get some good scouting so you know that you're safe to do this, and just get a Zealot to block that, and the Forge goes on top. Very hard to snipe it that way, obviously, unless you get like a 2-base Hydra Bust, which never happens, so...
Yeah, but for Panda right now, Panda's currently sitting on no gas. Oh, I'm sorry, I take that back. He is going ahead and now moving into gas right now. But as of right now, just droning up very heavily. We actually, I say that because the difference right now, Starnan sitting at 27 probes versus 19. So Starnan's been using a lot of chrono boost there on his Nexuses in order to get out early probes. And it's interesting because now, Zerg and Protoss are on the same playing field. They both have their natural available, so I assume Panda's going to expand to a third very quickly anytime.
Yeah, he actually does have that up.
Wow. That's a very nice job by Panda, staying ahead of the curve there and making sure that his economy is higher than his opponent.
Yeah, one interesting thing, though, is that when you noted that gas timing, that's actually an early gas timing and not a normal one either. You usually get 2 gas at 6 minutes in a regular PvZ build. So I'm going to see what he decides to do with that. There are some builds that goes very, very heavy on just fast lings, and that's it. And it's usually a Cloud Kingdom build because of this little weird wall-off that sometimes happens. We'll have to see, though, what Panda is deciding to do. It can also just be an earlier speed into just a regular game. Both options available.
Yeah, and it does look like Warp Gate technology is going to be finishing up here very, very shortly. In the meantime, we do see additional gas going down for Starnan. But on the opposite side of the map, we do see Lings pushing off these Zealot Stalker combination, and Starnan trying to get down some proxy pylons.
Yeah, he's actually doing a really nice job. I mean, Panda, that is, denying this push, really. I don't even think that was a cancel on that proxy pylon. So, Starnan, some other Protosses at this point might be saying, alright, this is done. He has too many Lings right now, but his 4 gateways are just finishing up right now. His +1's still a ways away, so this definitely isn't like a killing blow, which is really meant to force out a lot of Lings and stop the droning process.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. As of right now, we do actually see the Harvester count very, very close between these two players. In the meantime, though, something, we do see speed finishing up very shortly, so nothing too extravagant, actually, between these two players.
No, this is pretty typical, really. The Protoss player just going for a little early harassment, like I was saying. And, oh, wow, a beautiful surround on just the Stalkers. I love when Zerg players do this with Lings. Some Zerg players go for the full surround and get hit by a lot of Zealots, but being able to actually surround the Stalkers themselves is so nice to see. And since he does that and speed just finished because of that earlier gas, he's in a pretty good position.
Yes, and as of right now, Starnan is actually doing a very nice job holding down that pylon. He's actually trying to get a cannon now just to secure that even more to allow the warp-ins to pull in. And, we're only at the 9-minute mark here, so eager to see, if he's going to be able to actually take down this third anytime soon.
Well, it is going to be really, it's probably really, really scary for our Zerg player right now because he doesn't actually have a Roach Warren, I don't believe, anywhere. I didn't see it building on the production tab. No, so it's just going to be a muted build most likely. So just Zealots right now is actually probably going to be a lot more cost effective for our Protoss player. However, he did cancel the cannon, which probably means he's saying, alright, this is it for the early aggression. I'm going to go back into just macroing at home. And actually, we see an infestation pit on the way, so Ling infestors.
Yeah, and we do, +1 did finish, and we're actually waiting for the +1 for armor. Weapons did finish. I was thinking that Starnan would wait to attack once that finished, but oh, he went up and came back in, so he may actually be waiting and might pull back now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He seems to be pulling back all the way back home. No third on the way, though, for a Protoss player, which is kind of weird. He's actually getting a Twilight Council and a Forge and 2 more gateways, which is pretty normal. It's not an all-in or anything like that. And yeah, just pulling back right now. So, so he's going to be up to double Forge, which, you know, a third. Oh, there, finally, a pylon goes down. I was like, oh, where's your third? But there it is. And a lot of Lings are actually on the field, which is probably kind of scary for Starnan.
Yeah, Panda's using this mass amount of links to go ahead and gain map control. He's pretty much altering the game here. We see a flip-flop. Pretty much we saw Starnan having full control of the map, having pressure on Panda, and now it's going to be flip-flop. Now Panda was able to use the mass amount of links, which are very, very easy to just flow out for Panda, take advantage of everything in regards to the map, get the surrounds. He's going to be able to control the third of Starnan, and now Starnan has to play much more defensively.
Yeah, he really does. He actually canceled that pylon building at the third just now, thinking he has enough and some good force lifting to go down here, but wow, actually, that was some serious, like, metagame. Like, most people would be, like, spamming force fields to try and block out the Zerglings and just really overreact, but he's like, actually, I think you're going to pull back. And he did, so no force fields wasted right there.
Yeah, Panda actually tried almost to do a run-by, thinking that there would be a hole in the wall, but even, 10 minutes, 12 minutes into the game, Starnan still has that Zealot there stopping that. And if that run-by was to get through, that would have been very successful, as the majority of Starnan's army was sitting at the third.
Oh, wow. So I just witnessed the Observer going in, actually, and there was an Overseer right there. I don't know if that was, like, seriously good positioning or just very lucky, but it actually got sniped before it could see the infestation pit, so it's pretty big.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like right now we're sitting on 36 Lings, with that one Overseer, but then on the other side of the map we have 6 Stalkers, 7 Sentries, and 6 Zealots. So most of these players just putting a lot of time and money into their economy, not really dumping a ton into their army composition, but I assume we'll see a change here in the next few minutes.
Yeah, it should be. Some probes actually going to die, potentially. No, the run-by actually doesn't work once again. Just very nicely done by blocking with just one Zealot. Really saves him a lot of headaches, as we can see. And he actually got Blink first, which is pretty interesting. We do see that on the Zerg side, we have drops coming into play, and he did build that Baneling's Nest, but no Baneling speed on the way. But I gotta say, I haven't seen this style in a really long time, and it's so cool to see Baneling drops.
Yeah. They'll be very effective versus this army, because right now Panda is not able to get in the front door. He can't do any run-bys. He's not able to affect the third. So how does he do it? And this is how he's going to do it.
I really also like what Panda's doing here. He's double expanding on this map. That's actually really, really important, because one of them is guaranteed to fall generally, so you have that other one.
Yeah.
Additionally, with the Lings, he has some pretty good map control, so he can go ahead and just risk being able to actually defend those and not let his opponent know that he's actually double expanding. And we do have drops just finishing. Neuroparasite and Hive actually on the way. No Banelings formed. Oh, my bad. Banelings are actually in the Overlord right now, so we're going to see a push momentarily.
Yeah, and this is going to be pretty exciting to actually see. But it all comes down to the micro. Can Panda pull it off properly and do this? Because if not, it's going to fail, and Starnan can do a huge counter, and it looks like Starnan is getting ready.
Yeah, he did actually witness the Overlords moving with speed with a Zealot, so he has a little bit of pre-knowledge. And here we go, Fungal's going down on the Stalkers and the Sentries. Some Stalkers blinking out of there, and some major havoc going down on the Sentries, but still enough to actually block off that third's ramp, so not that bad for Starnan, really.
No, Starnan recovered very, very well. I mean, granted, he has a huge handful of Lings to deal with, but on the other side, he has so much of his army, but he needs to keep it spread out so that they don't suffer from these fungals.
Yeah, and that actually almost happened right there. If that Serrano had gone off, the Blink Stalkers probably would have died, but he just had just enough to put down those force fields, which is so good. Actually blinks forward and snipes one infestor, but might lose 5 stalkers for it. Oh, 2.
Correct, and I expect Starnan will go ahead and defend this and then push forward to counter, just because of the positioning that he's been in. I mean, he's been very comfortable in his third. He did defend off a huge push and then a small additional push as well from Panda. Now, granted, there's a 4th and a 5th up for Panda, but barely anything mining on it at this time.
Yeah, what is his drone count now? 83, alright, so he's actually at pretty optimal drone count for the stage in the game. Of course, he will have to make sure to get back up there when he builds his mass spine crawler wall, which he's doing right now. Our Protoss player is actually getting a 4th as well, and his tech is actually finally getting up there. Did he scout that Greater Spire? I don't know. I don't know he actually did. His scouting on the Zerg side of the map is actually very limited.
Yeah. So pretty much, from our view, we do see a Greater Spire, and on the other hand, we do actually, I think I just saw some Colossi start to come out. This will be interesting, but we also do see as well, we actually see a Stargate going down and almost popping too. So, yeah, I mean, I would expect Starnan to be pushing out here shortly as he is up around that 200 mark.
Yeah, it would be great for him to actually push out pre-Broodlord, just before those Broodlords are done finishing, and then have a really sick timing. It does seem like he has at least anticipated the Broodlord timing, though, so that's why he got that Stargate and the Fleet Beacon. He might wait for that mothership.
Yeah, he might not even need to actually get to that Fleet Beacon. He might actually be safe where he's at right now. And the fact of those Broodlords coming out this early, if they come out, there's so many Stalkers with Blink that he actually might be able to do it and actually get under those Broodlords and wipe them out.
Yeah, he might be able to. I was looking at the supplies, and it's actually not what I figured. Panda's down by like 30 right there. The 4th hatch is probably going to die just being evacuated, so he doesn't actually manage, or he doesn't bother with it, rather. And yeah, he's just really testing the waters, I believe, right here, and our Zerg player is actually going to go for a run-by.
Yeah, we actually see a bunch of Zealots getting warped in at the northern region, 12 o'clock region. They are going to press forward to the 3rd while the run-by is occurring.
Oh, very nice. We have action going all over the place, actually. So the Lings are going to get behind and just hit like a few probes. They're not really doing anything. The 4th, or rather the 5th for the Zerg has officially gone down. The Zealot pressure is still going on strong at the Zerg's 3rd, though, but he does scout the Broodlords and how many there are. And so now it's his decision. Do I go ahead and attack and risk it, or do I pull back and wait for the mothership?
Correct. And right now there's about 7 Broodlords out on the map right now versus 29 Stalkers. So we'll have to see how effective they are, and it looks like Starnan is going to pull back a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to engage right there. That's actually a really good position for the Broodlords, and Panda probably knows it, so he needs to wait until they actually get into a worse position. Here it goes, actually blinking in right now, takes 1, 2 down immediately. Yeah, and there was an observer that's up there allowing him to see all the Broodlords, and he is going to pick off a few there and pull back, try to reinforce, and I don't know, Starnan may be able to pull this off, but Panda's doing a great job defending. He actually does have a proxy pylon sort of in the way of that warp prism that did just warp in 6 Zealots, so once the Zerg army moves and he knows that, he will go ahead and run into the 3rd/4th with those Zealots. Very nicely done by Starnan with the multi-pronged harassment. Now Zerg player is actually going for a semi-secret 5th. Yeah, since his other 5th at the 3 o'clock position did get taken out, he's going to go ahead and take that up there. And as you said earlier, most likely one of these bases will drop, so we will have another one to back it up. And actually not waiting for the Zerg to move out, runs in with the Zealots, doesn't get much done, unfortunately. Some transfuses going down, which is really nice. Those infestors are looking damn scary with all of that energy. That should really help out with the battle that should be coming fairly soon. Yeah, and upgrade's very close when it comes to ground armies at 3-3, but as for those Broodlords and Corruptors, they don't have any upgrades just yet, but it looks like we have a big engagement. Panda was actually, or not Panda, Starnan was dancing his units on the ramp. He thought it was game over, and it does look that way. He's able to blink under, get all of the Broodlords, not much in the way of ground support. His blink stalkers are looking very, very low right now, though. Yeah, and as of right now, Starnan looking in a great position, and I would expect a GG very soon. Yeah, Starnan's actually feeling absolutely great, dancing his units on the ramp, a very precarious spot to do that, and also expanding to the Zerg's old 5th. Oh, it's like a burn. Yeah, Starnan has had
great control of this game in the last half of the game here, and cleaning everything up. And that warp prism is still sitting there in the northern region and still warping in units to harass Panda.
And he just warped in 4 more stalkers, which I really like, because in this position they can go ahead and snipe some drones from that high ground.
Yeah, and that'll cause a shift of the army for Panda, which will then allow Starman to just go right up the ramp.
This is some really great, Protoss play right here. This is what you should do in a PvZ, and starting just kind of rolling over Panda at this point. Only Ling's not really going to help when there's still Colossi out in the field, and nothing in production tab right now for Zerg player. Although he has... Nope, okay, that's why. It's just GG.
Yeah, and I expect Dan learns the GG, and congratulations to Stardan with a 3-0. Wow, Stardan, Western Wolves, very impressive. He actually has a chance here to all kill it if he does actually go ahead and take the next game. We'll definitely have to see. Go ahead and get that loaded up here. It looks like our next game will be with Dirty Zenith.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually a familiar name, but I do want to note that at least from what I know, if Western Wolves actually takes the all kill, that will be at least 2 all kills on their record, so that's pretty nice for them.
Yeah, that's actually really impressive too. I mean, Western Wolves is kind of like that, kind of like a semi-pro team, but they're starting to develop into this. Like possibly at some point, if you get the proper sponsors and everything, it could go with full pro, like full time. That would be really, really exciting. Because their players are amazing, and I'd love to see them more and more at some of these MLGs and NASLs and IPLs and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And the last all kill that was by Zictomini, so they have just an awesome lineup. As short as it is, it's still awesome. But I am all loaded up. How about you?
I am ready when you are.
Okay. All right, and actually, I have to invert this.
That's perfectly okay. Take your time.
Come on, craftboard. There we go. All right. So we're going to go into the game in 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome back, everybody. This is game number 4 in this best of 7 King of the Hill style clan war for the underrated team league. We do currently have our current King of the Hill about to get an all kill if he wins this. Starnan as the green Protoss, just looking so strong right now. And his opponent to the left on Daybreak is going to be Dirty Zenith as the blue Zerg. So
Daybreak, unique map for a ZVP. The third is very extended from your natural. If players that are watching aren't super familiar, if you go ahead and look, your natural is pretty close right there, but then the third is so far down, and it has an entrance opposite of your natural as well to be pushed. So keep that in mind when we start to look at this game that gets mid and late game, how these players actually defend this, because that's a big deal. Does our Protoss player stay on 2 base, not stretch his army thin to go to a third? Or does he actually make that push to the third? Those are all things to keep in mind. For Zerg, it's a little bit easier just because of the creep and the ability to run a little bit faster to defend. But all things to take a look at later on in the game.
Yeah, and Daybreak has really evolved into this. It used to be so Zerg favored in that Zergs that loved to pick it, and Protosses were just like, oh, really? But now, really, it's just kind of equaled out, so it's now Terran being the one who's like, whatever, Daybreak. And the Protoss and Zerg players are both like, I think I have a good map choice in this map. That might be what Dirty Zenith is thinking here as a Zerg player. Now, will he go for that quick 3 hatches that is so popular on Daybreak and like you were talking about, and open himself up to 2-base timing attacks, which can be very powerful because of the reasons you stated, the available pathway into the third and some nice proxy pylon positions really helps a Protoss player really damage and what's the word I'm looking for? Punish, that's the word. A quick third from the Zerg player.
Yeah. Also, guys, please keep in mind, make sure you do go out and vote. xanderfever.tv/vote. We'd love to see kind of your thoughts on if you think that Starnan is going to go ahead and take this with a 4-0 all kill, or if Dirty Zenith is going to go ahead and revenge his opponents for metagaming. So please make sure you do go out there and vote. xanderfever.tv/vote. The link is up in the title of today's stream.
Yep. And, well, the game going pretty standard right now. Nothing much going on. No quick third as of yet, but he's not quite up to 20 supply yet anyways. The Overlord doing some nice scouting. Starnan, of course, can't do anything about it quite yet. He did go for a forge before Gateway this time, so just a little bit safer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's because the opening is a little bit different when it comes down to this map, and that's why I decided to do that. I mean, I liked exactly what you said last game, actually, with that forge on the high ground there. Very effective versus Zerg. Yeah, either way, a forge fast expansion is a very safe build and very effective build was against Zerg, because it kind of forces your Zerg opponent to take a third regardless.
Mm-hmm. And our Zerg player, that is actually getting a third, and the probe did scout it. Additionally, I wanted to point out that the pool actually went up really quick, so that's probably why he went for a faster forge. He didn't try and get the hatch down before the pool like last game. I think that's the reason. And also, our Protoss player once again going for this 1 gas in the main and 1 gas at the natural.
Correct, and so at first we thought last game he was kind of messing with his opponent, but this game, it's definitely part of his build structure. Going ahead and placing that there. Either way, though, whatever works for him. But we are seeing a very nice wall for Starnan right now at the upper right-hand corner, right around the 1 o'clock position there. And Cybernetics Corps finishing up, and something to keep note of, though, we are seeing +1 going down for weapons. And so this will allow him to kind of get an edge very early on in the game with the additional upgrades.
Yeah, for sure. We could see another 4-gate pressure like last game that might actually be more effective against this opponent. We'll have to see. The third is just now finishing for a Zerg player. The Overlord scouting for a Zerg player is actually very, very good, but, with Starnan's unique way of putting down the gas is it's kind of actually not really telling him the truth. He sees 1 gas on both bases, and he doesn't know if there's a third gas, though it is being put down right now, until he suicides that Overlord.
Correct. And now, that was actually a very good point that you made there. You can't really tell how many gases your opponent has, so maybe that's the whole theory behind that. But we do see additional gateways going down. Warp gate about 50% completed, along with +1 weapons, about 65%. But on the other side of the map, Dirty Zenith there, double gas at his main, nothing at his natural Earth, and now he's starting to occupy his third. So pretty much it's coming down to who can get the most harvesters at this point.
Yeah, and our Zerg player is joining up pretty heavily. He's currently up by 7, 46 to 39. Proxy Pylon goes down in a regular position for Starnan. Zerg player's actually been doing a pretty good job checking the usual positions for Proxy Pylons. As you can see, the Overlord right here is the most common one in the, the 11 o'clock position. You use clock positions, I'm pretty bad at them. But, yeah, our Zerg players are going very standard build, Roaches and probably Infestors later on.
Correct, and we do see a little pressure at the third right now from a few Zealots and Stalker, but we do have that Proxy Pylon, which Starnan has been using time and time again in the last 3 games prior to this, and allows him to get that early pressure against his Zerg opponents. That's exactly what his intent is here. He pokes in with a Stalker Zealot and walks back, warps in a few more Zealots, and all this is doing is forcing Zenith now to invest more money into his army composition compared to droning.
Exactly. Now, he's not overreacting too much or a lot of Lings, but now with 3 Roaches, it's really going to help out against the Zealots. Getting an Evo Chamber right now. Metabolic Boost just finished. That's really going to help out. Only 1 Spine Crawler on the way. And actually, our Protoss is going to go straight for the main, just avoiding the Spine Claws altogether.
Yeah, this is a little bit iffy. Reason being is just because of the fact that speed has finished for the Lings, along with speed on the creep itself. So it's not really going to do too much, and it might actually give up that Proxy Pylon that he had.
Yeah, I guess that's his plan right now. He's also back at home, just getting that, once again, a very similar build, going up to a Twilight Council, an additional Forge, so 2 Forge, probably going to be Blink if it's anything like last time, and it is, as well as 1 Immortal and +1 Shields currently.
Now, what we were looking at there, Starnan definitely looking into mid-game, what that entire thing did with the Proxy Pylon and pressuring the third, that caused him to get a 10 Harvester lead, actually, over his opponent. And that was really effective, actually. I mean, his opponent is starting to close that gap now, but regardless, it allowed him to actually have more mining time with more units.
Definitely. And a Zerg player is going to go ahead and push out with the units he has. Why not waste them? Or why waste them? Why not just go ahead and poke and see what you can do? Have to be very careful because of the force fields, but I'm sure he has that on his mind the entire time. And back at home, he's gone up to 6 gas, going to go up to that layer at his natural, and probably Infestors really, really soon. now. Oh, actually, it was an engagement. That's probably why. Yep, infestation pit.
So right now we see some of the Immortals actually coming out for Starnan. I like this decision actually versus the Zerg army. That on top of a heavy Zealot and Blink will be quite an army composition actually for Starnan. I'm just hoping that he is going to be able to hold this third.
It does look like it's some really good force field going down, putting a little ring around the Roaches, letting the Zealots get up and close. The Lings have all died, and there's still 2 Immortals, so yeah, Roach is not going to do very much.
Correct, and beautiful micro, pulling those sentries back to protect them. Zealots going forward, Immortals in the back, Stalkers at the back and side, and that will survive with 3 additional cannons going down. And once again, this will put Starnan on the same playing field economically as his opponent.
He's only down by 20 probes right now, but that should skyrocket as soon as the third is finished, or at least transferred a few, because his natural is looking a little oversaturated. Just sticking on Immortals right now, finally getting the Robotics Bay. Gonna go up to that Colossus. Now, Infestors are going to be out in the field fairly soon. Pathogen Gland's just about halfway, which means the Infestors have begun producing. And what else is going on? Not much, really, just both macroing up.
Yeah, and we actually, that fourth, coming out midfield there. The Harvester count is going to go ahead and plateau out here very shortly for Dirty Zenith. He might actually put that wall of Spine Crawlers out later on in the game here to protect him. That's very common in this map, especially with those destructible rocks. Very commonplace to try to press through there onto the Zelnaga. But on the other side of the map, things to kind of keep track of is we are seeing that Warp Prism play again. He does have a Warp Prism coming out. It was very effective last game, stretching his opponent very thin in 2 different locations. We'll have to see if he does it again.
Yeah, and it's already rallied. Where is it?
It is heading to the bottom right-hand corner of the map
I
right
see.
now. But we actually do have the Spire coming down, and we will have to see, because those mutas will actually very effectively clean up that Warp Prism if it is scouted.
Yeah, it's probably going to be for Corruptors just because it's timed up really nicely with the Hive. So, but, Corruptors do the same thing against War Prisms as Mutalis. They kill it pretty effectively. He is coming in with 4 Zealots, but the Spine Crawlers have not finished quite yet for our Zerg player, and it's actually going to do some damage, putting it down, trying to trap, and he does trap it. Oh, that's so beautiful to see, trapping that Queen with the Zealots.
Yeah, and actually, thank you very much for everyone who did vote so far. We actually see that people are favoring Dirty Zenith 57 to 42.9% over Starnan. Thank you very much for doing that, and we'll have to see kind of how that alters and progresses in the next few minutes as we are right around the 15-minute mark.
That's really interesting, actually, so thanks for voting and letting us know. The War Prism has actually survived the whole ordeal. Corruptors are just now coming out. It's going to go into the natural right now. Going to go for the Greater Spire, or the Spine Crawler next to it. Alright, yeah, this is probably going to be cleaned up without too much damage. Done.
Yeah, and pretty much all this is doing is just keeping Dirty Zenith busy so that Starnan can get the army composition, army count together, and also get the tech completed. But big thing to keep note of is we actually do see a Greater Spire started at the natural for Dirty Zenith.
Yeah, exactly, but Starnan, pretty much the exact same build as last time. He's pushing a little bit with the ground army that he has, but he's also going to go ahead and make sure the mothership is really readily available in case this push doesn't work. High Templar is also on the way, or rather the Templar Archives, getting that 4th up nice and clean. Upgrades looking pretty good with Charge on the way as well, and we might be seeing some late game Vortex, Broodlord, awesome action.
Yeah, we're actually at 2-2 right now for the ground army of Starnan, and on the opposite side for Dirty Zenith, he's currently sitting at a 2-0 in regards for his Roaches, and for his Lings 2-1.
Yeah, oh, there's the 2 on the way. He's actually just going to go ahead and go straight up to 3-3 as soon as he gets the gas, but that is what he's lacking right now. Just now getting the 5th, and he should populate the gases immediately. That's really what he's going to want in this later stage of the game. Mothership, less than half way done, so the Broodlords are actually going to hit before the Mothership, and this is going to get dicey for our Protoss player.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have that Mothership coming in, partial the way through it. Big thing also to pay attention to is we do actually have Storm coming out as well to help deal not only with some Broodlords, but also the Lings that are still available on the map. But yeah, I mean, this is quite a lot of tech actually for Starnan, and also even for Dirty Zenith. I mean, we're under just an average. We're under the 20-minute mark here, and all this is coming out so quickly. 3-3 as well, so definitely showing a lot of high-level play from these players regardless of the fact.
Yeah, and we do have our Zerg player pushing out right now. There's not many Stalkers out in the field, to be honest, so I don't know what he's been doing in terms of that. Only 9 just now coming out, but that's not going to be enough. He's going to want a lot to go ahead and just, one-shot the Broodlords as soon as he gets under them. And Festers with full energy looking pretty scary. Another Warp Prism coming out. This one's going to have speed soon. And what's going to happen in the middle of this map?
Yeah, and it looks like Storm does finish up, and the mothership is about 98% completed and popping out any second now. And that is rallied directly to the 4th there. And if that gets out in time, along with having enough energy for a ton of storms, I don't know how well this Zerg army is going to do.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he's pushing forward, and Fester's actually getting feedbacked pretty nicely, but good fungals going down as well. The Broodlords are still alive. Nothing really to challenge them, unfortunately. Where are the Stalkers for a Protoss player? Is he just going to lose his 4th and come back to fight another day?
Yeah, and the mothership is actually not rallied at all. I thought it was. It's not rallied to the 3rd. It's sitting up cloaking the buildings of the natural, and it could be so effective right now for him. I don't know if he's trying to keep it safe so that if he does, he hopes that he will defend this off, and then he's going to go ahead and take the mothership and press forward. I'm not really sure, but he's doing a decent job defending.
Yeah, surprisingly decent job, but once again, the Broodlord count they're still there. He doesn't actually kill it off. They're really good parts of the Zerg army. Roaches and Lings can always be backed up. 48 are on the way right now, so that's a pretty big deal. He is warping in 6 Stalkers at a time, still has some Colossi. So the armies are actually looking pretty, battered on both sides, but also pretty stable.
Yeah, and it does look like we have 90 Harvesters right now, actually, for Starnan.
Wow.
versus the 76 of Dirty Seventh. I don't know if you realize that he was up that high. On taking a look at the supply count, we have 193, 95-ish at a 162. So Dirty Seventh doing a very nice job, actually, repopulating his army. And we're going to see some constant pressure back and forth at midfield.
Yeah, well, here comes a mothership, actually, coming out from left field, and he was not expecting it. A good vortex goes down at least half of the Broodlords, and some Infestors getting in there. No Archons actually put in it, so it's a little bit of a failed Archon toilet. It is going to make room for the Stalkers to get up and close and personal to the Broodlords, and Zerg player is actually going to have to retreat.
Yeah, I think he was just kind of waiting there, waiting for the energy to fill up so that he would have it available to be fully effective. And now the Zerg army is completely split up, lots going down. Broodlords still getting picked off by the mothership, along with Blink Stalkers jumping in there.
Yeah, very nicely done by our Protoss player right there. That mothership came in like a hero out of like a folklore or something like that. It was like, I save you, and it really did actually. The Stalkers now in extreme amounts of numbers, really. Not a whole lot for the ground army. Some Broodlords actually being made, and they die before they can finish/run away.
Yeah, we actually do have a Warp Prism at the upper, I'd say, 12 o'clock position, warping in more Zealots to go ahead and pressure his opponent, because now Star Nation is able to pressure not only the 5th, but also the 4th.
Yeah, he's doing a really nice job once again with that Warp Prism. It actually might get the 5th down. There's nothing on the way to save it. It does look like the Dirty Zenith is trying to do a counterattack, an eye for an eye. But at this point in the game, Protoss is, fine being at least only one base under the Zerg, and it actually won't stop the 5th from coming up, and the Zerg's 5th actually died.
Yeah, so it's kind of, a little even trade here, but as you said there, the 4th doesn't go down, so it's not as even as I thought. We have a lot of kind of emergency speedlings coming out on the field for Dirty Zenith compared to making it count. I mean, yeah, he's bringing in some additional Broodlords and additional Corruptors, but definitely just trying to keep his opponent busy with all these speedlings.
Yeah, it's not really working out, though. Blinkstalkers are actually in position. The entire army was actually, so the 5th gets up for a Protoss player, and the cannons are going to finish. And Ling's just not really cutting it for a Zerg player. He's actually down by 40 supply, which is not where he wants to be at this stage in the game.
Correct. I mean, the supply is everything right now, and now Star Nation's sitting on a very nice bio ball, and a few attempts at a few run-bys with those speedlings, but regardless right now, Dirty Zenith is sitting very powerfully.
Starnan,
yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No problem. Ling's actually patrolling for the Warp Prism. It sees it actually, just waiting for something to warp in. The 5th is back up, almost back up, that is, for a Zerg player. And his army, it looks a little scary, but really, he needs a lot more Infestors. It's not quite up to that Zerg death ball that he really wants to be at.
Yeah, and guys, please make sure you do keep up with the vote. If you haven't voted yet, please jump in there. If you want to change your vote, jump in there as well. Let us know, if you feel that, okay, we're now at the 25-minute mark, and I feel the game's going to go a different way than what I thought originally. So make sure you check that out, xanderfever.tv/vote.
Another skirmish going down in the middle. High Templars leading the charge, going to get some good storms potentially, and they are blanketing most of the Broodlords, just, damaging just a little bit, but every single health unit point, whatever, counts, and the mothership is almost at max energy, which is really going to help out.
Correct. And I mean, right now Starman doing a very nice job, actually, just kind of taking his time, making sure it all counts when it comes down to the energy amounts for his spellcasters here, including the mothership. And yeah, I mean, this game could go either direction right now.
It's looking very precarious for a Zerg player. Feedback's actually going down on the Queens and the Overseers, which I thought was really, really cool. Didn't quite kill the Overseers, but if it did, it would have been really, really awesome. And Ling run-bys, once again, the Zerg player really wants to just want to buy time. He needs more gas is what he really wants, and more infestors and upgrades. Lings die a horrible, horrible death. Zealots charging in back into the 5th, and they could get it once again.
Yeah, it looks like that army is going to go ahead and move up. He brings all the Broodlords and Corruptors to go ahead up north, but the whole point of these Zealots, I mean, is really to harass, but also to force the Zerg player to move that army, and that's exactly what he's doing. And if Starnan can take advantage of that at one point or another, he can get that push in and actually take out that 4th, all depending.
Oh, that's so weird. We have another Cybernetics core down at the 6th base of the Protoss player. I don't know what he's going to use that. I guess he is getting air upgrades, so that's really funny. He's probably feeling a little confident. You usually don't see that, especially if Void Rays aren't in the mix.
Yeah.
Just for the mothership, that's a little weird.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, well, never mind. 5 gateways, Stargates on the way. That explains that.
Yes, exactly. So he's kind of making a shift here. He's making that shift. He knows the game's going to go a little bit later. He knows that possibly, these gateway units just aren't going to do it, and so he might shift over to... we're going to see carriers would be awesome. Void Rays, Phoenixes, those are all things to keep track of here, and to see exactly what route he decides to go.
Yeah, for sure. And it might be Void Rays just because he hasn't actually gotten the carrier upgrade yet, so that's what I'm thinking. Maybe he will... Oh, there it goes, actually. Graviton Catapults. So we will be carriers eventually once he actually makes room after the next engagement. Now, the Protoss, or rather the Zerg front is looking really, really scary, but the Protoss player's just like, alright, then I'll just, attack some other way, and he's going to take out the 5th.
I think that 5th that's going down for the 2nd time, maybe the 3rd time, I don't recall, but either way, that will go down. Very nice job, and a big engagement, actually, right here.
Yeah, lots of fungals, or lots of infestors going down, not really getting the best out of those fungals. Some storms also. Still a lot of infestors, though, so a lot of the Protoss army... Oh, a recall! Oh, wow. That's cool.
That's cool. That's all you can say.
You rarely ever see it.
No, I agree. Hopefully we'll see it more, actually, in Heart of the Swarm. I actually haven't seen it too much in my Heart of the Swarm beta play, but still a very, very cool feature. And outside of that, pretty much, now we're just seeing Starnan buying some time, trying to be as effective as possible, not overcommitting, while he goes ahead and gets up this huge carrier army, goes ahead and is pushing for the upgrades as well.
Yeah, his upgrades are actually going to be pretty sick on the air army, even before the carriers come out. Now, the engagement in the middle is looking like it's going poor for the Protoss player. He needs to be really, really careful with all those spines up. And does the Zerg player know he's going for the switch? No, he doesn't. The Corruptors are just for more Broodlords.
So a ton of spine crawlers getting placed down, as you said there, at the middle of the field there. I mean, what is our count actually for Broodlords? Right now, Broodlord count is at 19. That's huge. I mean, that's a ton of Broodlords right there. But I don't know, with the amount of carriers that are currently getting built, they could be very, very effective against that.
I do want to note that there was a Nidus being put down, or at least built, so there is an Overseer in position at the main of the Protoss. So we could see some Nidus action, which is going to be really, really exciting. Carriers are out, and with some interceptors, how surprised is the Zerg player going to be?
And it looks like that we do have quite a nice spread, actually, by Dirty Zenith at the middle of the map. He is expecting this to kind of be the game right here. He did spread his units, watching out for any type of vortex along with any storms. And, yeah, Carrier's now going to town right here.
Yeah, he's actually not focus firing with his Corruptors. They're actually targeting interceptors, which is not what you want to do in StarCraft 2. You want to target the actual carrier, and a lot of Corruptors went down right there. He doesn't have much of a bank, finally getting 6 or 7 more Corruptors, which he's really going to need, and there's still more and more carriers being pumped out.
Correct, and these carriers are really going to do it. I think it kind of threw Dirty Zenith for a curveball here. I don't think he was expecting this. I mean, now he's just trying to pump out as many corruptors as possible. His corruptors are sitting at 2-0. Right now, the carrier is looking very, very nice, actually. And
and Neural goes down on the carriers. Cool. I mean, not very effective, but really cool.
yeah, very cool to see.
Oh,
And this could be game here. Maybe not.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean,
maybe.
there's so many Broodlords.
There are a lot of Broodlords, and actually that was a Neural from the for the mothership. That was why the Vortex went down. I'm not really sure why. I guess it was just a waste, to waste it pretty much, so it's not positional later on. But all the Corruptors are down.
Yeah, it's so crazy to see the mothership Neural parasited.
Again.
Cruising around, cloaking everything. I know. It's like, come on now, like this is crazy, and this game is definitely looking in Dirty Zenith's favor right now.
Yeah, his army's looking so scary. The 7 Corruptors did just join up with his army, and the carriers are all that's left. Is there any more harassment going down for a Protoss player? No. There are Dark Templars, and there are no Overseers. So, Dark Templars win the game. Woo! They are killing a lot of Infestors, actually, to be serious.
Yes, that would be nice.
They actually did a lot of damage. They killed most of the Infestors. He's down to 2, actually. So, pretty big deal right there.
Yeah, this game, as I said before, can go either direction. I mean, both players looking very, 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 very comfortable, actually, right now. I mean, Starnan did take a lot of damage, but now he's trying to push it back with these carriers. I don't know if he's going to have enough, as there's a lot of Corruptors. It looks like our number comes to 15 Corruptors.
Oh, that's a lot of Corruptors, actually.
Yeah.
If he properly focus fires, it can definitely take down the carriers, and our Protoss player will have to start thinking about something else, because Corruptors really do usually beat carriers.
Correct, and oh my gosh! I mean, I don't want to make a prediction right now because it could go either way. I mean, it looks like another mothership actually getting chronoed out right now. Additional 4 carriers coming out with Phoenixes as well, but Dirty Zenith is looking very, very nice.
Yeah, both players do have a nice bank, though. Not in the gas, but definitely in the minerals. So it's not over yet. Both players also still on even bases, I do believe. Actually, no, Protoss player's down 1. But the Zerg player is, or has, run out of money at 3 bases. So he's on 2 base economy. Protoss only on 1, but with the bigger bank right now. And the supplies are actually similar.
Correct. I mean, it's not maxed out at 200 that you would think. I mean, 35 minutes in the game, usually, once they go down, they're filling it back up. But now we're starting to see a few little problems for both players. But either way, I mean, right now it's about a 20 supply lead in Dirty Zenith's favor, and he's just cruising around, cleaning up as much as he can of Starnan's economy.
Yeah, I mean, both players are really doing that, trying to just deny bases left and right. Finally getting 1 in the middle once again, but that's really just going to be for gas. As you can see, there's no minerals at the middle position base for both players, really, and no Nidus as of yet, so that's a little disappointing, but a huge Zealot Warp in, going to take care of this potential 5th for a Zerg player.
Correct. And that mothership is just about finishing up here, along with another supply of carriers, and it looks like, what is our carrier count at? 8 carriers right now? So quite a number of carriers right now, with a few Zealots in there, a few Stalkers, but it looks like we are going to start to see some Archons now, so it might move into this carrier Archon mothership army.
Yeah, and if he gets 1 good Vortex off with some Archons, it could really change the game. The Zealot's going in once again. This is going to be like the 3rd or 4th time that this hatch dies, if it does indeed die.
Yeah.
It does.
And we actually are seeing a hatchery going down at the 12 o'clock position for the mineral patches there, taking that out, and it's not even really to mine off of that, it's just to make sure that Starnan doesn't take it.
Yeah, it is going to be used for the gas, though, because both players are really starving on gas.
Yep, that's
Third player is up by 40 supply, but 30 of it is actually in workers. Wow, what happened to his probes?
Yeah, it's 59 to 27 right now when it comes to the harvester count. So this is pretty much the all-in right here for Starnan. I mean, if he can pull it off, he has a decent amount here. He does also have some High Templar, which can be used very nicely. Not sure if he's going to go with that into Archons, or he's going to keep those for Storm.
Well, we'll have to see. Some more Zealots actually going up, killing another base of our Zerg player. Really, when you have what he had, 5,000 in the bank, now he's down to 2,000, you just start warping in Zealots and trying to do what you can, and they've been very, very effective so far. Once again, just taking out a lot of drones, too, and they're going to force each other into just butting heads eventually because they're both taking out all the economy.
Correct, and very, very close now. Supply around 165 to 157, so closing that gap. A lot of actually minerals stored up for Western Wolves. Starnan currently sitting at just over 1,000 right now, and it looks like he's going to make the push to take out these spine crawlers at midfield.
Yes, and without the Zerg army there, the spine crawlers are of course going to go down very, very easily to interceptors. And now, well, with the spine crawler wall down, that's actually, one pretty nice step for a Protoss player in this evolution of the final big battle. The mothership actually has enough for Vortex. That's really also going to help, and they're both going to have to choose their positions very, very wisely.
Yeah, and it's 3-3 right now for those carriers. For the Corruptors, they're currently sitting on 0-2. So, I mean, it looks like it might actually come down to an upgrade battle here. I mean, very similar army compositions.
Yeah, indeed. Our Zerg player just doesn't have enough money or gas really to get the upgrades, while the Pros player got those fairly early. High Templars once again leading the charge, going to lay down some storms or feedbacks. And, nope, that was not the big battle that we were waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, the Broodlords staying back because they know what's coming with that Vortex right now, but with the Storm combination of all that air army, yeah.
Oh, he didn't do it. I thought he was going to do it. Oh well. Oh, well, both players just now positioning up. Zerg player actually getting the better end of this deal. If the Protoss player decides to attack in, he has a very nice spread. Zealots, once again, just demolishing Zerg's drone count. And actually, the Queens are going to die. I don't know what's going to happen here. Oh my god.
Yeah, it looks like a great cleanup here, and a GG any second.
Oh man. Really? You think so? There's like a lot of stuff going on. I can't tell who's actually winning.
I would think. I mean, just with the cleanup of the Zealots, the economy and everything. I mean,
the Corruptors all down.
Yeah, nothing's available.
Wow, those Corruptors just I don't know where they went, but they went somewhere.
So yeah, it looks like that is actually an all-kill. Western Wolves over Metagaming. So congratulations to Western Wolves for that all-kill. I think you were saying earlier that that would be their second all-kill of the tournament?
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's crazy impressive. That's nuts. I mean, I haven't had an opportunity to cast Western Wolves, let alone an all-kill, so that was a ton of fun. So yeah, I think that'll kind of close things out for the night. Any last remarks for you?
No, you guys all saw where to follow me and stuff on my overlay. You have to remember that you actually see that, so I don't repeat myself. But want to thank the sponsors since you've been doing it so kindly. We do have SC2 gears, very useful tool. Almost everyone who's serious about StarCraft, serious about getting better at StarCraft, uses it. Also, Next Level SC2, where you can learn and use StarCraft 2 gears together, see how that goes, and all of this on your brand new Origin PC. It's really nice stuff. Go check them out, and thank them for being sponsors of us. It really helps us out.
Yeah, definitely go support them, guys. They support us, and they actually provide the prize pool for you guys. So make sure that you guys go support that definitely. Well, outside of that, that was Western Wolves versus Metagaming 4-0. Thank you very much for having us tonight, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. And if you want to check me out, make sure you go check me out at twitch.tv/OctanePro, SCII. I do a lot of streaming for Smite, for StarCraft 2, for SC Go, and also DayZ, with a lot of fun giveaways, so make sure you do check that out. But please make sure, guys, go follow Gaming. Please support them. Providing you guys content so many days a week, so please make sure you go ahead and support them, and do click that follow button at the upper right hand corner.
Yep, and once again, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you guys later. We're going to play that video really quickly once more because it's so cool, and then we'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
I got my work shit covered. I got my
time. And she gon' rock to the camera stop. I sing about angels like Angel Eye. And Pay My Life. And Samantha. And Amanda. And Tamara. And Najee-Moi. I'm in here like, bitch, what's up? Mechanic me. I can fix you up. I can dick you up. I can dick you down. Shout it, we could go wherever, just pick a town. And the jury is louder than an engine sound. Big ass rocks like on the ground. Dirty like socks that's on the ground. We see her sweet
Working harder.